Hello, my family. So today I decided that I'm going to have to make me some hummus. And I had one of our family subscribers asked me if I would make a video on it the next time I make tahini. Or not tahini, but hummus. And I am actually going to do that today. However, in the Mediterranean style of it, there's several ways of making hummus. The basic traditional is just garlic and the garlic and lemon flavored one, just ordinary garlic. And then there's some that are garlic and tomato, roasted pepper, just so many different ways. And I'm going to show you the base, and the rest is basically all flavoring. I will also include recipe for the basic hummus at the end of this video in the description box below for you. And that will be the standard, basically the garlic hummus. So today though, I am actually going to be making a red beetroot hummus with you, and it'll be an experiment for you. I've never tried this. I am going to try this myself. But I figured since I'm doing hummus, I might as well go ahead and video this whole process with you. So let's get started. I'm going to take you, and this is fairly, honestly, real easy. I will show you this part in the beginning. There are two ways you can actually use for your base, for your hummus. We're going to talk about chickpeas. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, so chickpeas is one of the first main ingredients in hummus. Tahini is another. So when it comes to chickpeas, there are two ways you can actually do that. You can do this by a dry form. Doing this by dry form is no different than if you were going to cook some navy beans for you, or black beans, or little red beans. Any dried bean, chickpea falls in the same category, where basically all you have to do is just cook these up till they're tender, and just make sure you pull the skins off. They're super easy. They just pop right off, along with the can. You can use either one of these. Sometimes I will use this, but I am getting to the point, because these are like 80 something cents a can, when I can get a 1 pound package for $1.38 at Walmart, and I'm pretty sure I can get more than one can out of this. So I'm looking at actually canning them at home for me, and then doing away with these types. So, but you can use either one. It doesn't matter. Tahini is actually, it's ground up sesame seeds. And with the sesame seeds, it's got its own, it's got oil added to it as well. But I buy the organic. I get it at Walmart. I find it over in the peanut butter aisle. So keep an eye on tahini for that. These are the two absolute main ingredients that you will need besides the olive oil. So we're going to go ahead and start this and show you how to do it. Alright, so my recipe, and like I said, I am going to include the basic one with you guys, but for me, on this recipe, it called for 2 cups of chickpeas. I'm just going to use the one, just use a 15-ounce can of chickpeas, and I already pulled the skins off of it. The reason for the skins coming off, it'll give you a smoother texture on your chickpeas. So I'm adding that. I'm going to add a small piece of garlic clove. Again, on that, add your preference. I happen to like the flavor of garlic, so I'm probably going to go ahead and use a little bit more than just one. I'm going to go with 2 for me. So let me get my knife here. And we're going to use the food processor. It's quick, it's simple, it's real easy, and you can have your hummus whipped up in no time. So we're just going to basically pop the garlic clove. Get the skin off of it. Mash it down just a tad bit. And then I am going to pop that in my food processor. It'll all get broke down anyway, so if you use a can, please reserve the juice because you're going to need that. Even if you make your homemade, just reserve some of the chickpea or garbanzo bean juice from it. So now we've got our garlic. We're going to need 3 tablespoons. For me, I'm going to need a tablespoon and a half of tahini, which is nothing but pulverized sesame seeds. Everything wants to run away on me. Okay, so now I'm going to use a little bit of salt in here. I'm using Himalayan sea salt. Okay, let me get some lemon juice. Okay, I normally would use fresh lemon juice. I prefer fresh lemon juice, but because I'm limited at how many I have right now, I'm just going to go with this, and I'm going to use about a tablespoon to about a tablespoon and a half, of lemon juice. I'm also going to be taking some of my beets now, my roasted beets. And again, you can do this by can, or you can do it by raw and just roast them. So I'm just going to take a few of these that I have here. Let me bring this over here so I'm not stretching across to you guys. I'm going to break this up a bit. After I pull them out of the oven, I actually let them cool down some as well. Now I'm going to use I used the can, so I'm going to use about half the can. And I roasted them with sea salt, Himalayan sea salt, a little bit of olive oil. And I set them in the oven at 350 until they got a kind of a nice brown color to them. And do a few more of these. There we go. That should be enough. And you can add your preference on how much you want in flavoring. Now this is where I said the extras come in from the basic. You can use, like I said, roasted red peppers, or you can use sun-dried tomatoes with olive oil. You can use just plain garlic, and you can dress these up any way you want. They're actually amazing. Now we're going to get our seasonings and be right back. Okay, so we're going to be using about a 1/4 teaspoon each, because I am only using half of this recipe. Each of these are a half a teaspoon otherwise, so I'm going to do a 1/4 teaspoon of coriander. Some cumin. And some sumac. And now at this point, all I'm going to do, oh, yep, I forgot. I need to add a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Now, I am going to puree this up, and I will be back with you in just a moment. Okay, so at this point, and I'm not done, I want it actually a little bit smoother than this. So here's all we're doing right now is we're wanting to get that, and do this preference to your texture of how you want it. I like mine smooth, and the reason for saving the juice from the beans that you make from your chickpeas is that will help incorporate a smoothness by doing about a tablespoon or a teaspoon at a time until you get the right consistency of what you want. And this is almost finished. I'm almost where I want it to be. So all you're doing is just letting this pulse, puree, or on high, however. You just want to get this a nice smooth texture. And we will dress this up as soon as it is finished, and I will show you the final. Okay, so now we have this finished. I'm going to take this out of my food processor now. Get all these nice goodness off my blades. Y'all, I tried this and it was amazing. I'm not one who usually eats beets a lot. This was an excellent way of incorporating beets into my diet. It actually enhances hummus in a way I never thought of. Of course, I've been trying so many different flavors with Mediterranean that I never knew about. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am loving this food so much that if I were to pack up and move to Greece, I think I'd be absolutely happy. And I guess that's why I love this homestead so much, because that's part of my lifestyle. And I truly, truly enjoy homesteading because it is, it's self-sustaining, but it's also a Mediterranean, all-natural lifestyle, organically, flavors, and I'm learning how to use vegetables in ways I've never learned before, along with different flavors to chicken and fish and some meats. Now, I don't eat a whole lot of red meat anymore, not because I'm vegan or nothing like that. I am actually trying to get my cholesterol levels down. So chicken and fish are my main priorities. However, I will eat a lean pork. I will eat some lamb, and occasionally I may do like a burger or something like that, but that's not going to be often. So, all right, so now we've got that out of our food processor, I am going to show you how I'm going to dress this up. Okay, so I'm going to dress this up, but I had made some homemade pita. So I'm actually going to heat my pita chips or pita bread up. I'm going to add about a tablespoon or so of olive oil. Get that heated up. In the meantime, inside of my hummus, I am going to be adding a sprinkle basically of some feta cheese on top. That one got away from me. And then I am actually going to be adding some parsley. Let me go ahead and get this washed off. And now I'm going to be adding some tears of fresh parsley to this as well. Such a beautiful color too. That's the other thing I love about Mediterranean. It's just so much vibrant colors to a dish. It just kind of, I don't know, it kind of puts you in a good mood. At least to me, so I may be strange. And then from here, I'm just going to take and drizzle some olive oil on the top. And that's my hummus. It's just that simple, y'all. And now here, I'm actually going to cut this down. And I'm just going to sear my pita chips. I'm go ahead and cut this in half. I'm just gonna make some chips for me. Now granted, this is for me. Hubby cannot have this. Again, I do 2 different meals, but it's worth it. We both have different needs. So, and for the most part, I mean, we still eat some of these foods together. Like tonight, I am making us a lemon garlic mahi-mahi fish. Some steamed asparagus with some garlic parmesan. And he is going to be having some with his own type of breading, low carb breading. He's going to have some fried yellow squash. And for me, I'm going to do differently, and I'm going to have crispy eggplant. So, go ahead and get a spatula for this. Just lightly golden toast this. After I'm done with that, it goes on a paper towel. So we strain it. And just go ahead and do that with the rest of these pieces. Once we get this toasted, we'll be back for the final display, and I will show you what it looks like. And there we have it. That is our beautiful beetroot hummus and homemade pita. And like I said, these were actually homemade, literally pita bread. And I just turned it into chips to dip into my hummus. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helped you. And again, I will give you the basic recipe to homemade hummus in the description. And until next time, until we have something new and exciting else to do, I will be back with you and spending much time and love with you. And we'll talk to you later from Parton's Heritage Homestead.